do about it? Thompson?
Sir, at 200 yards, each click raises the bullet 2 inches. So you take 5 clicks to raise it 10 inches.
Right. One more. Your range is 500. You've made too big an allowance, and your first shot strikes 5 inches too high. What do you do about it? Hopper.
Sir, 5 inches at 500. You'd have to bring the rear sight down. Why, just 1 click.
Right again. Each click moves the strike of the bullet 1 inch for each 100 yards. You all see that? All right. Let's move on to windage. You may have heard that windage is tough, but don't let it throw you. It's no more mysterious than elevation. There may be a few more things to keep in your head, but take it easy, and you won't have any trouble with it. Now, you might find it hard to believe that the wind can have much effect on anything as small and fast-moving as a bullet, but you can take my word for it. Any wind, unless it's coming from straight behind you or straight in front of you, is going to blow your bullet off its course. Take it as we did elevation. Suppose you're firing at 300 yards, and you make no allowance for the wind. Suppose that when the bullet leaves the muzzle of your rifle, it's heading straight for the center of the bullseye. But there's a wind from your right. That wind keeps pushing your bullet to the left, forcing it off your line of sight and off the target. Once again, you've got to make an allowance. You've got to start your bullet off to the right of your line of aim, so that the force of the wind will push it over into the bullseye. In other words, you've got to point your rifle into the wind. If you were shooting an old-time squirrel rifle with fixed sights, you'd have to guess at windage correction. You'd have to sort of aim into the wind a little.
Fetch a jug of corn. You can't get that there crow that's won through the hay.
You're on. Right, smart wind blowing. I guess she'd take about 5 inches off toward the right.
That's what we call taking Kentucky windage, aiming each shot into the wind by guesswork. And if you had nothing better than a hillbilly rifle, that's what you'd have to do. But you've got an M1 rifle, and it's a different story. It's true, you have to start with a guess at the effect of the wind, and we'll show you some tricks about making your guess accurate. But with the M1, you've got a movable rear sight, and you take right windage by moving it to the right, left windage by moving it to the left. Then when you've made your adjustment, you line up your sights at the target, taking the same sight picture you always do. But now, you're not sighting straight down along the rifle barrel. And as a result, you angle your rifle to one side. The farther to the right or left, you move your sight. The farther to the right or left, you point your rifle. Do you see that? Well then, when you adjust your sights for windage, you simply determine how much to the right or left you're going to point your rifle. Once you set your sights, they stay put. So, till the wind changes, and you have to make a different allowance, you can be sure you've got the same angle every time. How about those clicks in the windage knob? Like the clicks of elevation, each click of windage moves your rear sight right or left an exact distance. As a result, you angle your rifle right or left a corresponding amount. And that changes the strike of the bullet on the target a distance in exact proportion to the movement of your rear sight. So it all boils down to this. One click of the windage knob moves the strike of the bullet 1 inch for each 100 yards of range. At 100 yards, one click to the right moves the strike of the bullet 1 inch to the right. At 200 yards, it moves it 2 inches. At 300 yards, 3 inches, and so on. Let's see if you understand that. Your range is 300 yards. You fire a trial shot which strikes